In this video, we're going to be reviewing GPTZero, which a lot of places on the internet are calling the best AI detector out there. We're going to actually see if that's true with a number of different tests that I'm going to run, and just review it generally for pricing and other features besides AI detection to see what is it a good service? Is it worth the money? All of that. Now, we all know at this point, if you've been following this channel, that AI detectors are notoriously bad. But I do kind of have a reason for wanting to go through and find which ones are the best ones, because I'm currently building systems to improve on AI writing in such a way that it also humanizes it. And I want to find the best AI detectors so that I can properly measure, do some of these automations that I'm creating make a difference. And GPTZero is definitely one that I've heard about a lot. You'll hear it a lot if you search for like best AI detector out there. It's one of the most commonly cited ones. So I thought I would give it a shot. So let's take a look. This is their homepage here, and you can actually get some free AI detection here, just right here in their little window here if you wanted to test it out. This, however, will be their less advanced AI detector. It's not going to be as good as the one you get when you pay for it. But let's look at pricing, and there's a couple of things here. Now, one thing I do like about GPTZero is it does have a free option, which allows you to look at 10,000 words per month. So if you're just testing this out to see, does it work for my use case, or you barely use an AI detector but occasionally need to, this is something that you might want to look at. This will give you a basic scan, but it does allow for 3 free advanced scans per month. Now, 10,000 words isn't a whole lot. You'll get through that very quickly. In fact, just for the tests that I ran for this video, I quickly surpassed that. So if that is you, then you might need to go up to the $12.99 per month. That's billed annually, and it's $23.99 when billed monthly. This, however, gives you 3,000 words per month, which is a lot closer to what you would probably need. You get the advanced scan for all of that. You get multilingual AI detection. So if you're writing in a different language and you want to detect AI use in different languages, you get that. And you can download these AI reports. For the professional, you get 500,000 words per month, plus everything else in the premium. And then a couple of other things like scan up to 250 files at once. So if you have any sort of bulk scanning needs, you might need this one for that. But for most people, you're either going to occasionally use the free version here, or if you really need something a little bit more substantial, you get the subscription. Unfortunately, I don't like subscriptions for this. I recently reviewed originality.ai. One of the things I liked about that one is that they have a pay-as-you-go system, a la carte. And that's nice because I can just like pop 20 bucks in there and be like, okay, I'll just use this when I use this. And then, that way I don't have to worry about, did I go a whole month without even using this tool at all? And you don't have to worry about monthly recurring expenditures adding up along with all of your other author tools and Netflix and Disney Plus and all of these things. So that's one of the downsides, I think, of GPTZero, is that there is no a la carte option like there is with originality.ai. Still, $12.99 I'd say is probably a reasonable amount for what this does. Of course, you have to get the annual version to do that, a little over $130. So that'd probably be about $150 or so. Just doing some quick math in my head. All right, so that's GPTZero. So what does it look like when we actually log into GPTZero, especially if you have a advanced account? Well, it's going to look something like this. You can come here. If you have a multi-file upload thing, you can do that here. But most of the time, you're just going to go here and say new scan, and then paste your document in here, or you can upload it from Google Docs or just upload a Docs file or something like that, which is nice to have all of those different options to upload your documents, especially if you have really long documents, like you have a whole book or something that you want to check. You could do that. Of course, that's going to use up your credits real fast, but you can do that. Anyway, you just paste your thing here, and then you select what kind of scans you want to do. And one of the things I like about GPTZero is they do have a lot of options here just besides AI detection. Of course, they have their advanced AI scan, which is what I was using for all of my tests. They can also test for plagiarism checking, for AI hallucinations. That could be really useful if you want to like go through and check the claims that are made. And this will actually, I think, also help you find sources, which is nice. You can even ask it to do this to give you writing feedback to help you, the human, to be able to incorporate feedback and improve your text, which I thought was also a really nice thing. There's also this create custom reviewer option, which I thought was interesting, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Quick pause. If you're an author who wants to start writing more books, I put together my complete AI prompt pack that helped me and many others in my community write a book in a month. It's completely free. Hit the link in the description. Join the free waitlist for Story Hacker Gold. Then you just answer a couple of quick questions and I'll send you the full prompt list plus a few extra free goodies. I'll also email you when I open the paid Story Hacker Gold group so you can join if it feels right. There's no commitment to join though, and you'll still be able to get all of the freebies you signed up for either way. All right, back to the video. Anyway, actually no, let's get into it now. So you can get it here or on the left here, you can go to custom review, and this allows you to create essentially a feedback avatar. So let's say, a lot of people using GPTZero are instructors and teachers. So let's say we want them to have like an emphasis, like a teacher with an emphasis in American literature or something like that. And you can put that in here. You can attach files so it has things like rubrics, score sheets, criteria, writing it so it can know what the writing assignment is. All of this stuff, very useful, I think, if you're an educator, because basically what this does is it allows the AI to grade papers. To grade stuff that was given to you by your students. And I think it's kind of ironic because this tool seems to be really targeted at educators. I think it's kind of ironic that we have a tool that is designed to detect if a student has used AI in their homework while also offering the educator a chance to use AI for their homework, which is to grade papers and other documents, other assignments. Because you can do that with this tool. You can absolutely take all of your stuff, if you're a teacher, plop it in here and let it do the grading for you. Now, I actually don't think that's a bad thing. If you have a really good rubric and the assignments are very well spelled out, I think I would actually want the AI to do the grading instead of a human most of the time. I would trust an AI to do that better. The reason is, first of all, it has to have a good rubric and clearly defined goals and criteria. But here's the thing, humans, especially when it comes to something like grading papers, as someone who was an English major and had a lot of papers criticized by a lot of different teachers, it's so easy for, like, every teacher is different. I could submit the same quality of work to a bunch of different teachers and it'd all be different. And and sometimes teachers have bad days. They're really tired. They've got a lot on their plate. Maybe they're just having a bad day and they're extra critical that day. I actually think, and I know I'm getting kind of philosophical here, but I actually think AI would be more objective. And if you have your rubrics straight, they could actually be pretty accurate too. And I think a teacher is better off focusing more on the teaching. I don't get much value out of a teacher grading my papers. I get more value out of the instruction that they give me, either face-to-face in a classroom setting or one-on-one. Like, that's the kind of thing that is meaningful, is like mentorship from this person. But the actual day-to-day grading of stuff, I think AI is fine for that. Anyway, I'll get off my philosophical soapbox there, but I just think it is kind of ironic that we have this tool that will help you grade papers while also making sure that the students aren't using AI, because of course that's wrong. Anyway, let's go into the actual detection and results from all of the different prompts that I gave it. So I gave a bunch of different AI and human samples to kind of see how well it does, because I want to look at, does it detect AI well enough? Does it have false positives? That sort of thing. And so first of all, I gave it a pure AI fiction piece, and it came back 66% likely AI. So, or at least 66% of it is likely AI. This is inaccurate. The whole thing was 100% AI, so you would expect it to be 100% AI. Interestingly, over here, I have a more heavily edited work of AI, so a chapter that was completely written with AI, but then went through several editing passes with more than one human, where almost every sentence was modified in some way by one of the humans. Right? That one, it thought was 87% AI. So I think it's funny that the 100% AI was 66 and the heavily edited AI was 87. This is consistent, although with what I got out of originality.ai, which was 64% for the pure AI and 100% for the heavily edited AI, which was surprising to me. This one is more accurate because it got a little bit higher on the pure AI and a little bit lower on the heavily edited AI, because I'd expect more like 50% or so for the heavily edited AI. We had a pure AI and nonfiction piece, and this one I got a little bit more accurate. It was at about 95% was its estimation. And the thing I've found already with these two tests that I've run so far with originality.ai and GPTZero is that nonfiction seems to get flagged more often as being AI. Because let's move on to this next couple here. I have a human written piece, completely human written, and it flagged none of it as AI. So it got this part correct, that part was not AI. Then I had human written nonfiction that was completely human written. I know for sure because I wrote the article in question here, and I wrote it the traditional way before AI came around. And GPTZero flagged that as 53% AI, which is an improvement on originality.ai, which flagged it as 99% AI. But still, I would have expected 0 because there was 0 AI in the formation of this particular article. So while it did better here than originality.ai, it's still way off for nonfiction as opposed to fiction, which it generally got. And then I gave it some Sherlock Holmes text right here. That's what this column is. And then also a segment from the Bible. And both of those, it correctly got that there was 0 AI involved here. So overall, I think this is actually pretty good so far. I've only reviewed 2 of these, but so far GPTZero does appear to be the more accurate of the 2 across several of these benchmarks. And I'm going to go ahead and add more of these as we go along with these reviews. But as far as my overall thoughts on GPTZero, if you're an educator, it seems to be a good bet. Things I don't like about it is I don't really care for the pricing structure. Although it is fairly standard, I still don't care for it. I think if you're not an instructor, not a teacher, it lacks some features that I would want. Originality.ai, for example, had more features leaning towards those who are SEO, content creators, and that kind of thing, online articles. And some of those would be really handy to have here. But at least it does check for hallucinations and plagiarism. It gives you writing feedback. It has the AI scanning, of course, and all of that. Obviously, the most important thing is how accurate is the scanner, and it seems to be pretty good so far, although still certainly not perfect, as I think we can expect for all of these. So those are my thoughts on GPTZero. Let me know your thoughts working with this in the comments if you've worked with GPTZero before, and I will see you in the next video.